Hello, everybody. Joe Malone here, coming to you live from Dallas Trading Floor. Hope everyone's doing good today. I know I am. And it's a Thursday here in Dallas. And interesting thing today, Airbnb basically IPO today, and it's looking very, very good. It's up almost, it's up almost $100. It IPO'd at about 50. And it's up a lot since then, so pretty interesting stuff. Trying to get my TikTok feed going here. There we go. Come on. My stand is not the best. Well, that'll have to do, I guess. There we go. Yeah, I'm a little bit on a tilt here on the stand, so thank you for holding on here. Hello to everybody. And I just wanted to get into some of the slides here real quick, and then we'll get to your questions as soon as that is done. So basically, here's the situation. The market direction is basically in a uptrend. The Nasdaq, of course, when this slide was taken, is 12,391.19, and it is up. But S&P and Dow Jones are off, so it seems to be, still in an uptrend, which is good. That's what we're looking for. We want to try to when we're in a confirmed uptrend like this, we want to be possibly buying more positions and getting to possibly full utilization of our capital. Currently, I'm not doing very well in that department. I've gotten stopped out of a bunch of things, and I'm trying to deploy the capital to where it's going to work a little bit better. But that's kind of what you want to do when you're in a situation like that. The Nasdaq Composite is up a little bit today, 52.24. It's up about 0.42. So that's good. We're continuing on this nice trend, with this nice upward trend. So we haven't broken the trend yet. This was basically the low here, and that was back in November. I mean, so long ago now, March 23rd. So that was the March 23rd low, and then we have pulled up ever since then. We pulled back a little bit yesterday, but we continue to move up this week. So that indeed is a bullish thing. So we're still we still want to be invested in the market because it's looking pretty good there. S&P 500. It's pulled back a little bit today. It seems like the Nasdaq is leading and the S&P is lagging a little bit. It seems like there's a tug of war between the two. Of course, as you well know, Tesla is due to go into the S&P 500 index, and that will be on the 21st. So we do see some people trying to buy positions. It's sort of been all over the place. There was a kind of a buy point at 600. It's a little bit above that right now. The story of the day, really, though, is Airbnb, and there's not much of a chart because it just IPO'd today. And you can disregard that volume change in that, but it was up $104 from its IPO today. IPO'd about 50, and it's currently at about 148. So, not a good time necessarily to buy it. I mean, I wish I had bought it right out of the gate, but wish I had bought it right out of the gate, but let's wait for it to settle, let it form an IPO base. That's probably going to take about a month or two before it forms an IPO base, and then I think we want to put this on our watch list. Airbnb really probably won't be viable for about another 3 months, and the reason why is because we're probably going to see a little bit of a pullback as it comes out of the chute, and then once it firms up, it'll form a cup, and then it'll move higher typically. But there's very, very, there's a lot of excitement about this particular issue, and so, we're seeing really, really good stuff with it. But really, time will tell. It's not time to buy it yet. I think we're going to wait for it to pull back, but I'm very excited about the issue. It seems like there's a lot of interest in it. Just wanted to go over 5 stocks that are right now near a pivot, and I'm going to go through these in a second, but I just kind of want to show you kind of stocks that are near a pivot. These are stocks that are getting ready to possibly move higher, and I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up on them. Symbol TWLO, it's Twilio, and it's right below a cup with handle, second stage base. It's about 333.80 right now. eXp World Holdings. This is a real estate company It's also cup with handle, second stage. This is also a very good place to buy. MedPlace Holdings, MEDP. It is a 138.99. AutoNation, AN, is right below with a cup with handle. And then there is a consolidation base on Virtuous Systems. So wanted to kind of give you a heads up on those going forward. So let's see. Here is my current. This is my current portfolio, both in the small portfolio and the other portfolios that I have, because and I'm currently in NET. That's Cloudflare, and that's up again today, almost 10%. Wow, that's amazing. It just seems to keep going up. I don't know. I got that one was done really well. Tupperware is up a little bit. Blink Charging is up. Progeny is up. That seems to have done pretty well. It's up about 2.25%. Hopefully my Apple trade is starting to work right now, and hopefully that's going to start to work. I'm mostly in Palantir. That's up today as well. Tesla is up a little bit since when this was taken. Not a lot, but it's up. And I also added today. I added Fiverr. And it's up significantly. It's at 197 when this slide was taken. I'm going to be buying another position if Fiverr moves over 200. I don't necessarily expect it to do that today, but it may do that. I have a very unusual way of buying stocks sometimes when I'm expecting them to go higher. So what I do is I do a buy stop order, which is kind of a strange way of doing it. But basically what it does is it will buy it if the stock moves over a certain amount. $200 is the amount that I am going to buy at. I'm going to buy at or above 200. So if it moves at or above 200, then I will buy a full position for me. So that's a stop buy order. Kind of unusual. Normally you do a stop loss order, but there's also a stop buy order as well. And that's where you buy it when it goes above a certain price. And why would I do that? Why wouldn't I get the cheaper price? You would think you'd definitely want to do it that way, but actually this is a good way to do it. This is a good way to do it because there we go. This is a good way to do it because it basically allows you to get into the stock when it's moving higher, and typically you want to buy this on power. So as it is moving up. So let's see. Let's go through some of the stocks that I indicated that are very near a pivot. Let's see if I can get that report up here. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can get that in. There, it's in my lists and December and okay. Come on, baby. There we go. Come on. Okay. And now, there we go. Let's see what we can find there. Oh, did we get that? Okay, near the pivot. Okay, and we're going to start with Twilio. So I want to show you the chart here on Twilio first. So let's get that in there. And there we go. Okay, great. Twilio. Here we go. This is a stock that's near a pivot. It may be a buy for me very soon. It's currently at $333.10. It's up about $20 today, which is a lot, but it's a considerably more expensive stock. Let's look at the weekly chart. And I have not bought this one, but I'm considering buying it. As you can see, there is a cup formation on this, and this is where I want to buy it if it moves above this cup formation. The pivot is 341. Currently it's at 333. So I'm looking, if it goes over that, I may be interested in it. It's got a 98 relative strength, which is indeed very powerful. We have 8 out of 9 on the checklist, and we have increasing fund ownership. This is Twilio. I'm interested in purchasing it if it moves above this 341.10, 341.70 price. If it does, then I'm probably a buyer of this. Now, why wouldn't I buy it cheaper? Well, because I want it to make a new higher high. And this is how you buy on IPOs, not on IPOs, on base patterns. When it moves above the neckline, that's this little dotted line here, that's where you want to consider coming into the stock, because typically that'll form a floor. Here's a little bit of a more detailed version of it. As you can see right here at the top, 241, that's 341, that's where I want to buy it. So as it moves above this line here, that's where I want to buy it, because I do believe once that happens, it'll establish a new trend and that trend hopefully will be up. So that will form a new channel, and the channel will move will move higher. So this stock potentially could be 360 by January, but I want to buy it as it's moving into power. Right now, it's at the low part of this channel, and I want to see it now. It's starting to reverse off this channel, and then as it moves up, that's when I want to buy it. Remember, you always want to try to buy. A stock when it is moving to a it is moving higher high. I know it's kind of counterintuitive, but that's definitely what you want to do. So that's the one for Fiverr. No, sorry, not for Fiverr. That's the one I bought today. This is for this is for Twilio. The other one I like a lot right now is this one. It's EXP. It's actually a real estate company, and again, it has the same kind of situation where it's moving up into this cup with handle buy zone, and the buy price on that is 62.50. We're very close on that one at 62.50. But if we have another power day tomorrow, and it moves above that and it can hold that, then I think it's a good buy, because if it does, it will probably move to a higher level and potentially move a little bit higher on the trend. Also want to look at MEDP. That's another one that I'm kind of watching right now, and that again also is right below its pivot at 144.49. So that is kind of ones that I'm looking at, just to look at issues that may be available to buy. But I want them to go a little bit higher, show a little bit more conviction before I do anything. So get to the questions. Thank you very much for hanging on, Kay. Appreciate it. It's ATVI. Let's take a look at ATVI. ATVI. Okay. Well, goodness gracious. Okay, ATVI, and that's Activision Blizzard, of course, and they're coming into one of their best seasons, and of course that's the holiday season, and let's take a look at ATVI or Activision Blizzard to see if we can find anything here. I still think this trend is not the trend that you want. Let's go to the weekly chart. I just want to see. I want to check the trend on this one. To kind of make sure that we're buying it right. We still have a little bit of a downward trend here, so it does look like we may have a reversal here. So that is indeed good, and there is a buy point on this one. The buy point is 87.73. We're still a little bit below that. The question is, did we have a trend reversal? And if we did, that would be a good buy point. So, you know what? I think you could probably go ahead and buy this one based on this trend reversal. The trend was broken. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about 6 days ago we had a break on the trend, and the trend moved from a downward trend to an upward trend. So definitely want to buy on that upward trend. Looking good. I'd kind of like to see maybe one more day of a blue bar before I would go in, but it's up $6.41 today at 82.98. So that's looking good. Let's look at the smell test on this one to see, how it stacks up. Boy, that's 8 out of 9. That's very good. Increasing fund ownership. So I think that you could possibly move into this issue here. This is not necessarily a bad area to go into the stock at at 83, 84. I think that though, in order for it to confirm higher, it's going to have to move above about 84. But we definitely have had a trend reversal on this in the short term, so I kind of think this one's good. I kind of like that. I kind of like the way it's trending right now. So definitely, I think that that potentially would be a buy. Now, if you do buy it and you're below the buy point, and remember the buy point on this one is 87.73. As long as you're under the buy point on this one, you want to set your stop loss much tighter than you normally would, at about 2.5%. So, if you were to buy it at this point, you would want to set it probably 2.5% below the $83 level. that's where you want to set your stop loss, because it may pull back. It may not be ready to move higher, but it definitely looks like it is reversed on the trend, and the trend looks up. So, I definitely think that was a good one, Kay. And thanks for that. Okay, so a question from TikTok: what about Workhorse, WKHS, and of course WKHS? This has some funds in it. It has, it's kind of, it seems to trade a little bit similar to the Chinese EV companies. Of course, this is an EV company, but they make bodies for that. Let's look at the weekly chart to see. You know what? It pulled way back up, and now it's kind of looks like it's in a bit of a consolidation here. There is a buy point on it on the first day consolidation base at 22.90. It's at 21.03, so it's right at the pivot. I mean, could you buy it at this level? I don't think I'd want to buy at this level because we're in a downward trend, at least currently. But when this thing turns upward, then I think you might want to buy it. It's got a 99 relative strength. We had a very good quarter last quarter. We had some sales that went way up, which is nice. We have increasing funds in it. I like that. We also have a 16% funds in it. It's starting to get into a range where it's going to make a big move if funds move into it, because typically, as you know, a stock it's the funds moving into a stock that push the stock up. It's not retail investors like us. It's the funds that do it. And right now, there's 16% fund ownership. And once it gets to about 20, then I think we could see more coming in. Still has the cash flow issues in terms of making a loss. So it's definitely in a loss position still. But that doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing, obviously, because it's sales growth that counts. So let's look at the checklist. We have 5 out of 9. That's the only thing I think about this one right now. I can't recommend it only because it has only 5 out of 9 of the criteria. I like to see 6 out of 9 or better, and that's just how it is. So I would watch this one, and unfortunately, we're going to probably have to wait on this one a little bit. Just not ready right now. Just not ready on this one, Kay. But thank you for that question. Good question. All right, so let's see. Next question is, hope everything's good with you, Jim, and your family. Is there any hope for Amazon to go up to $32.50 this month? Let's look. Of course, and that's the symbol on Amazon, AMZN. Right now, Amazon is sort of in a consolidation. It's, that's the thing about stocks. They don't always go up, obviously. They go up a lot, and then they kind of get in this consolidation, and they're there for a while, and then eventually, they shake that off, and the weak counts are taken out, and that's when that starts usually going up more. But right now, we have essentially a basically a downward trend. I'm showing you the daily chart, but let's look at the weekly chart, because that's really where we can tell. It's not much of a downward trend, but it definitely is a downward trend. We're moving downward. So what we want to see is the Amazon needs to come up basically to let's draw the trend line. The daily trend line is down. Yeah, I'm afraid it's down. So, in order for this thing to start making a move up, it's going to have to come up to at least that point, and that's going to be, let's see, that's going to be about 31.75. So, in order to make 32, it's got to go a long way. It really has to move. It really has to move quite a long way. If you're down more than 7% on this one, we're still in a downward trend on this. So, because of that, I think we want to be careful and possibly close a position unless there's something else. I have a question. I have a question from Cloud Clangster. I think that's it. And he's saying Tesla is about ready to tank. Let's look. Maybe it is. I don't know. I have a stop loss on my position in Tesla. No, it's 622, it's pulled up. Let me show you the line that it's pulled up. It's bounced off of the, it almost came down to the 21-day exponential, but it looks as if it's pulling up, and it's up about $17. 622. It looks like it's pulling into this range from about 620 to about 650. That's sort of where it's at. I put a small position on today. Again, I came in at about 611, so I'm up just a tad. I'm not up that much. It's 8 out of 9, so it's still really good. And we have increasing fund ownership in it, and we have a Fidelity Contra Fund. That's sort of the good housekeeping seal of approval. Let's look at the weekly chart. Let's just kind of see how we're doing. Yeah, and we're looking at increasing sales once again, so that's very good. 34% in the funds. I mean, if anything, the cash flow is good. If anything, it's going to start to move stronger because of this. The cash flow is good. We don't really have earning stability yet because it's we just really don't have it. But the PE is coming down. We have good sponsorship. It's in S&P. So the question is tactically just how to buy it. I think it is going higher. Again, I've been on Tesla Bull for a while, and I'm definitely hasn't changed that. When it pulled back to, I was in it basically this last time up from about 450 to about 570, and then it was a pullback, and I sold out there, and I've dabbled in it yet. I haven't really put a full position back in because I'm waiting for it to confirm to higher range. Let's look at Airbnb, because that's kind of an interesting one. Not really much to tell you about Airbnb because it did just IPO today, but the symbol on it is ABNB. That's pretty. And I have used Airbnb in the past. When I go down to South by Southwest, usually I didn't get to go this year, but when I go down to South by Southwest, typically I do an Airbnb down there when I go down each year. So it looks like it's going to trade very nicely. It's up over $100 today. Just a lot of interest in it. Now I would be a little bit I think it probably is going to pull back. Eventually it's going to pull back, and it probably will pull back probably in about the $80 range. I think we're going to have this, but definitely possibly a good time. Now, the interesting thing about Airbnb is that I think they're going to be a little bit challenged this next year based on the COVID thing. And so, it's not, I think that, even though this is huge, I think it could have been even bigger. So basically, I think this is a good time to watch list this. And, I think it's a good time to watch list this one and, and see what's going to happen. Here's a question, from Perpetual Intrigue, watching on YouTube. Thank you very much. And please like and subscribe to me on YouTube. Hey, Jim, entries or exits for AMD and T-Mobile. Well, let's look at AMD first. I've gotten shaken out of AMD once again. I have, it's funny. I have this strange relationship with AMD. I like it. I want to be in it, and it keeps giving me heartaches. It's right at the top of the buy range right now, and it basically has moved above the buy point, which is this 88.72. It's basically trading at 91.81 right now. It's almost at the top of the buy range, and it's right at the 10-day line. So, and it's off of this terrific. And by the way, this is a really good base. By the way, if you're looking for a really good base, it's called a double bottom. And it is definitely one of the best of all of the chart patterns. But for some reason, I can never catch the wave on this one. I got pulled out of this one. Let's look over the small portfolio. Yeah, you see, here's the problem. I actually got knocked out of AMD. Let's see if I have it in there. Yeah, AMD. I bought in at 90. I set a really tight stop, a 2.5% stop. I got knocked out. I lost about $20 on it, but I'll probably be back in it again. It's Maybe the third time's a charm. I don't know. Today I'm moving. I went into Fiverr today. As you can see, I'm mostly all cash right now in my portfolio. I'm looking for an opportunity to deploy more of my capital. And not only is it true in the small portfolio, but it's true in my other portfolios too. I'm over 50% cash, and I'm just trying to find the right things to move into. So it's kind of a little bit frustrating, but I just gotta wait. Okay, remainder full 100. Thanks for watching. I forgot the stop loss for parts. Ouch. Should I average or just take the hit? Cheers. Oh goodness, I am so sorry. I know I'm such a stickler for the stop loss. I talk about it all the time. Because when you go into stock, you think, gosh, this thing can't go down. I'm just, so invincible. and then disaster strikes. I mean, this month I have been knocked out on my stop losses a bunch of times. So here's what I would do. If I was down more than 7%, I would just take the loss and go away. If I was down less than 7%, I would set the stop loss so that it would give me a net loss of 7%. Try not to take more than a 7% loss in any position at any time. It's painful, but this is kind of unfortunately the tuition price that you sometimes have to pay. When it comes to when it comes to learning about the about how to set the stop loss. So. But I think you'll do. I think you'll do fine. Just keep at it. That's the main thing. All right. Oh, hey, Mega Homes, can you give a projection on Upwork? I like Upwork. I bought Fiverr today, and I like Upwork too because I really like this model. I think that I think long term, and I was just asking around to some of the app developers here in my office because I share an office with some developers here, and they really like Fiverr and Upwork. So I haven't used them yet, but I think it's a great model, and it's one of those things that I think that it is really the future, because if you're really good in your area, let's see if I can get Upwork. Did I get that right? WPKW? I think it's WPRK. I think it is WPRK. So let me try that. See if that's up. If I got Upwork. No, I didn't get it right. Let's see if I can get the right symbol for that. And give you an idea on Upwork, because it is good. Upwork symbol. And it is currently at 34.31. So let's see, what is the symbol? Goodness gracious. UPWK. Wow, UP WK. I fat fingered it. So that was the original. Let's look at Upwork. Thanks for holding on, Mega Homes. Appreciate it. Let's look at the weekly chart. Excuse me. Before that one, we're almost at the all-time high. I really like this. This is a really good place to buy it. You always like to. It's always best to buy a stock when it's making a higher high, and we're definitely in that range. It's only got a 98 relative strength. It has very good sales increases, and I like that. It also has an excellent checklist at 8 out of 9, and it has increasing fund ownership, which is excellent. Okay, so it meets all those, the small tests. So now we have to tactically look at it, like where can we get in? Where's the buy point? Well, unfortunately, like with so many like this that are really excellent, the last true buy point on consolidation base, stage 1, was $17.59. It's $34.38 right now. So where could you buy this thing? Well, from the way I'm looking at it, there's only really one place that you can buy it in the short term, and that's going to be the pullback to the 21-day line. You can see back at the beginning, about the end of November, about November 25th or 26th, and I can't exactly. It pulled below the 21-day line, and then immediately it was a blue bar. So if we can get it to pull, if we can buy it at the pullback to the 21-day line, that's pretty aggressive. If we can buy it at the pullback in the 21-day line, I think that's good. Right now, you can't do that. You have to. It's really not in a place that you can buy it right at this moment. But we're getting very close. So here's what I would try to do on this. I would try to set a limit order to possibly buy it at about 31.78. That's what I would do. But I think it's definitely worth your time. And but if you do buy it at the 21-day exponential, remember that is buying off of a trend line. And there's really two ways to buy. There's buying at or below a formation like a cup with handle, double bottom, that kind of thing. That's the best way to buy. And the secondary way to buy, a secondary buy point, is a rebound off of one of the moving averages. The best one to buy off of is the 40-day moving average. But because this stock is as good as it is, I don't think you're going to probably get a chance to do that. So that's my big advice on that one. Let's look at Lemonade, LMND. That's a stock that I have not been watching. LMND. So let's look at Lemonade. There we go. And let's look at Lemonade. Let's first of all start with a weekly chart. We always want to start with that weekly chart because that's going to give us an idea. This is a classic IPO base, by the way. This is kind of what I want to look for with Airbnb, because I definitely think it'll form this kind of base before. Just for your information, this is typical of how an IPO comes out. It comes out at an IPO price, and then usually it shoots up. See, like this. This is almost exactly what Airbnb is doing, and then it gets and then everybody gets sold out, and then it will start moving down. Okay, so the next stage for the Airbnb. Right, Airbnb came out at 50, it went to 150. I think that we're going to see it top out maybe at 160, who knows, and then it's going to start pulling back. And then we have to wait, and then typically it will pull back below, it'll pick below where it IPO'd. And then once that happens, then everybody starts getting back in, and then the starts moving up. And then when it moves past this trend line here, that's where you want to start buying it. Now, Lemonade has definitely made that kind of move. It's at 99 right now. Relative strength is 85. That's good, but it's not great. It does have a 6 out of 9 checklist. And the most important thing on these IPOs is to see how funds are coming into them. We had 154 funds in September, so that's excellent. We have two very good ones. Lord Abbott is a very, very good fund, and it's very instrumental. So that's kind of like the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. The question is, where could we buy this thing? Well, it doesn't really. I mean, maybe you could have bought it today, but I just think that it's a little bit too far extended. I want to see if it's up $12.12. Let's see if it pulls back a little bit. I think that you might be able to buy it right about 88 right here. Again, if it pulls back, I think that's where the consolidation, that's where the support is, about 88. So let's see if we can look on the 10-minute chart to see if that is indeed true. It looks like there's support right about this 88 level. So with Lemonade, if you did buy it, and I don't necessarily this is watch this. I would try to wait until this thing pulled back to about 88 and then reversed. That's kind of where I'd be in it. But I'm not in Lemonade currently. Just want to reiterate that and make that clear. Stop out of CrowdStrike. Ouch. I know. This is a heartbreaker. This happened to me, Ollie, too. I was in CrowdStrike. I got stopped out, and it takes off. This is what makes it kind of sometimes very frustrating, is that you get stopped out of the stuff that they're good, you're in them right, and then you get stopped out. Let me see where I was stopped out, because I put that in there. Yeah, CrowdStrike. Yeah, I was stopped out basically at 164.21. Yeah, as you can see. Yeah, here's my trade record here, CrowdStrike, and I was out at 164, and that sucked because It has gone up so much. So let's look at the chart on CrowdStrike. This, this is just this is kind of paying the tuition. You're not always going to, you're not always going to get them right. You're going to have the right stock, but you're not going to have the right entry. But that doesn't mean you can't possibly do something again. Take a look at the weekly chart here. Yeah, it's just pulled up $12. Unbelievable. 179.99 or about 180. Wow, it's just yeah. This is what happens when it pulls through that pivot. There's that pivot there, and that was a perfect setup. Second stage cup with handle 153, and then it pulled right above that, and then it pulled right above that. So, yeah, that is the pattern that's the pattern that you want to see. Wow. Can you buy this one again? Well, let's wait on this one again. Let's see if it pulls back down to the 10-day line. That's this little pink line here. And if it pulls back, let's see if CrowdStrike can pull back to about the 160 level. I don't know if it will pull back that much, to be honest. I mean, I'm looking at the candle here, and it's right at the top of the candle, so I don't think that's going to happen. I just think it's going to continue to move up at least for a while. Yeah, I don't think so. It may pull back a little bit, but there's just really not a place to buy it, unfortunately. Unfortunately, because of the stop loss, we missed out, and so I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but they're always out there. So they're always out there. Hey Byron, thank you for watching me on YouTube. Hey Jim, any insight on Etsy? I'm in at 162.25 shares. It seems like it's having trouble breaking the 52-week high. So let's look at Etsy. Etsy is a great little site. I mean, handicrafts, stuff like that. It's so popular. So let's look at the chart for Etsy. It's currently at 165.30. It's up $6 today. Wow, that's good. Some of these stocks are just okay. All right, the way to trade this one, this one is sort of bouncing in this kind of range. It's just moving right up it's just moving right up the 40-day. It's just moving up right up the 40-day line. That's this red line here. It does look like it's in a little bit of a channel. So I want to kind of draw the channel here. And it looks like at the top of the channel. I think we're going to see a reversal towards the downside on this. But I think it could go up to about 170, 172 before that happens. Let me look at the 60-minute chart here to see if that is in case the truth. Yeah, okay, so it seems to be in this resistance band between about 155 and 165. It can't make above 165. Here's the thing: the next chance to buy it is going to be when it moves above 165. So I don't think you should sell it. 162 is not a bad place to be in the stock, really. It could pull a little bit lower, but it looks like it's kind of settling at 165. That seems to be where it's at. So I think you're just going to have to hold on and be a little bit patient on Etsy. I don't think 162 is not necessarily that's not a bad entry point. So on that one. Okay, Gunnar. Gunnar got stopped out of Apple today on the pullback. Next buy point. Okay. Let me see if I hope I didn't get stopped out of that either. Let me look to see if I don't think I did. Let me see if I did too. Just have to see if I may have gotten stopped out as well. Let's look at Apple. Apple is, still, I like Apple a lot. I have it in two of my portfolios. I haven't really owned it since August 31st, when when Apple basically split 4 for 1. So I haven't really owned it since then. I just recently bought back in. Yeah, okay, so it's still trending higher. Here's the thing, Gunter. This one is going to be a little bit. really, it's not gonna move. It has to go beyond this level here, this 125 level. And as you can see, we went right up to that level, and then it hit it and pulled back. It's making a second attempt at that 125 level. If it moves beyond 125.39, I think it's going higher. But what's happened is that it pulled all the way back down to the 21-day line. It pulled all the way back to the 21-day line, which is about 120, and then it bounced on that 21-day line. So I do believe it looks like it is probably going to go higher tomorrow. That's basically the trend that I'm seeing as well. So, but it really, what happened for Apple, in order for it to confirm its upward trend, it must move above 125.39 and stay there for a day or so. So that's going to give us, I still think it's worthwhile getting in. Sometimes you get two or three. You get stopped out 2 or 3 times going into a stock, and then it will punch through resistance and it'll move higher. So this is kind of the buying and selling stocks is really more of an art than it is a science. I mean, there's science to it, but this is mostly the art of it. So sometimes it just refuses to push past, and then when it does, it's off to the races. So just be patient. That's the only thing. Thanks, Ollie. Please point out some resistance levels for Tesla. Okay, thank you very much. Let me kind of show you what I'm talking about with Tesla. Pull up the chart here again. I'm gonna look at first of all the weekly chart to kind of give you an overview, and then I'm going to go into the daily chart, and then we're going to go to the 60-minute chart. But here we are with this is the weekly chart. There is basically a sort of there's a resistance right here, and you can see this very clearly on the let me go there. Yeah, you can see this very clearly on the weekly chart. You can see where I've drawn that red line. You can see how there's like railroad tracks there, and then there's a pull above that. Well, that is resistance. So I believe that when I sent out my action trade alerts, it pulled past that and it pulled up, I think, almost to 650, and then it's backed off. So there is resistance on Tesla right about at this 600 mark right here, right below it, about 595. As you can see, there's these railroad tracks here, and then it pulls above it, and then it pulls back, and now it's pulled back again. So it tested, and it moved, and it moved higher. The question is where's the next resistance? I believe the next resistance is right about there, which is, I believe, very close to about 650. It's 646, 645. I think is basically that. And here's a question from TikTok: waiting for Tesla to break above 634 again, and then it's smooth sailing to 657. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we're going to move up, and then we're going to hit that resistance, and then if it can punch past about 657 or 655 in that range, then it's going to move probably to 700. So those are sort of where the resistance are. It's as you can see today, it pulled back, but it went right through the floor, but then it came back. So that's why you have a blue bar here. We do have a lot of activity here. We do have a lot of activity in this. So those are sort of the key points, the key resistance and buy points. Currently, we're in between. We're from about one. We're in this kind of zone between this. About I figure this is about 597 on up to about 657. I think you were right on TikTok. I think that's right about it. I run Discord, so happy to. Great. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Your thoughts on CODI? Let's take a look at CODI. CODI. Compass Diversified holds a controlling interest in manufacturers of bikes, suspension products, furniture, and safes and printed circuits. Interesting. I don't know this company, but You know what? I'd be a little bit worried about this one, and I'll tell you why. And let me just show you. This is part of the reason why, I think that you might want to be careful on this one. I think you might want to be careful on this one. 2618 Master, because we have a relative strength of 48, so that's below my I want to see 80 there, so we're very far off of that. Let's look at the checklist. 5 out of 9, not good enough. It does have increasing fund ownership, so that's good. It's up 8. You know what? I can't really recommend this one. I think there are better. I think there are better options out there. Thank you, but thank you for, as they say, thank you for playing. No, I don't. I wouldn't buy this one. It's just it doesn't have the right. It's not ready yet. That's the main thing. Let's look at AMD. AMD is. I tell you, I'm like Lucy in the football with AMD. I tell you. I made money on it, but I've never really made the money. And look at this chart. I mean, over the period of time, if I had just haven't been so, if I had been more tolerant, I probably would have made a lot of money. Because look at this chart. It is just, it's just going up, up, up. And yet I don't seem to always get the right entry on this one. I got pushed out of this one again. The key buy point, of course, is the 88.72 double bottom pattern, the neckline on that. It's pulled back to the 10-day line. So basically, it's right now. It's on the 10-day line. And really, you can definitely. It's in a buy zone right now. I mean, again, Apple is in a buy zone right now. It's really buyable up to, up to about 92.71. It's buyable. We're at 91.66, so we have about another $1 that you could buy this thing. Will it pull higher? I mean, who knows? I do think it will, though. There's a lot of reasons for that. My thinking that it has a 100% checklist, and eventually with a 100% checklist, they will go higher. It's just that way. I mean, and it's got increasing fund ownership, so I think you're still in. I still think you can buy this. It's not extended currently. You can buy it probably up to, about the 10-day line, about 91.77 or so there. So we're basically right at where you could still buy it at this level, and be relatively safe. So I got knocked out of it, but I had a very tight stop loss though. That's the main reason that I got stopped out of it. But so there you go. All right, Nasad, can you please don't cover the questions that you already answered? Okay, cover new ones. Okay, absolutely. All right, so let's take a look at ZUO. I haven't done that one yet. ZUO. All right, let's take a look at Okay, this is interesting. Cloud-based software on a subscription basis that enable components. Now, I think we have to be careful with this one. I'm going to show this to everybody on YouTube. And by the way, I'm running these off of YouTube. We have a 41 relative strength on this one. Just is not good enough for me. I want to see at least 80. 5 out of 9. No, it's just not good enough. It's got decreasing fund ownership. Yeah, no, I don't think you want this one. I think that this one is not the one to be in right now. Just doesn't work that well, unfortunately. Let's look at Boom, BOOM, and this is a question from YouTube. BOOM. Let's look at Boom, and it's DMC Global, and it makes explosion welded metal plates. Interesting. Used to construct pressure vessels and heat exchangers. Interesting. This is definitely. I'm not familiar with this one. Okay. Well, first off, we've got a relative strength of 81, so that definitely meets that my criteria there. It's got upward momentum on that. Let's look at the weekly chart to see. Okay, we've had falling sales though. Don't like that. We have falling fund sponsorship. 60% owned by funds, so that's good. It's got strong cash flow, but I don't think it is probably in a group that we want. So let's look at the industry and sector. 44. That's not bad. It definitely meets that criteria. Let's look at the checklist. 6 out of 9. Okay, this is not necessarily a bad one at all. Would I buy this one? I think I could. I think I would want to buy something that's a little stronger than this, but this is definitely worth a watch list. So I wouldn't buy this one right away, but I would calculate the position size that we want to go into this. And if it does move up and it moves up a little bit in the rankings, then I think you might want to look at it. All right, we have another one for Virgin Galactic. That is symbol SPCE. SPCE. And I haven't been in this one since the first quarter earnings. This is what I a lot of times do with the more speculative issues. I will hold it into earnings and then sell it the day before. But it's making very nice progress here. So let's take a look at space or Virgin Galactic. Let's look at the chart. There we go. And let's look at the weekly chart. Okay, we definitely had a buy point on this one. Second stage cup, 27.55. It's currently at 32.25. Let's see how far out from earnings we are. Earnings are due on the 25th of February, so we've got some time, so that's good. Sales are weird on this one. I know that they have a lot of pre-orders on this one. This is a lot more speculative. We have a 96 on the relative strength. Wow, that's good. And an upward trending relative strength line. We are 5 out of 9. That is the only thing that I can say that it misses on right now. And we have increasing fund ownership. You know what? I think that this one, this is tough to buy. You might be able to buy this on a pullback. I would definitely try to buy this one. Maybe you could try to buy this one at the neckline here on this cup, which would be 27.55. So what I would do is that if it pulls back to 27.55 and then reverses, then I think you might want to be you might want to be in it. But be very careful. Don't go in with a full position on SPCE. It's very, very speculative. So it's not necessarily the best. Let's look at Palantir. I'm in Palantir, by the way. I've gotten knocked out of this twice, but I think that it's worth looking at. Palantir Technologies has a lot of funds that are interested in it. It's really too early to buy this, but it's been very good. Currently, it's at 27.04. I do believe that it will move higher. It's currently got a relative strength of 99. This one's a tough one because it's so volatile, but it's volatile in the right direction. We have 6 out of 9, so that's the minimum that we can buy. And we have 69 funds in this. So I do think that Palantir is buyable. Now, unfortunately, the last time we had any real place where we could buy it was on the IPO base first stage, and that was at 11.42. So it's basically doubled since then, a little bit more than doubled since then. The question is, where can we buy it? And boy, that is difficult because I think the only way we're going to be able to buy this is on a pullback and probably to the 21-day line. So if it pulls back to about 22.50 and then reverses, I think that's where we can buy Palantir. But right now, I'm in Palantir, but I'm not going to add any more to it because it's just not an ideal buy point right now. I want to see it pull back possibly a little bit more before I buy more. Okay, so Beam is being referred to as CRISPR 2.0. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's true, but I like CRISPR. So let's look at Beam, BEAM. And of course, this is gene editing. If everyone knows, wow, it's up $4.66 a day. Wow, that's just, some of these biotechs can just really move. It's amazing. Let's look at the weekly chart on it. Yeah, it just moved up. There's really no place to buy this though. That's the problem. That's the problem with this one. There's just not. I mean, the last time that really this thing was buyable was on the first stage consolidation base at $31. It's doubled since then, $77.50. And what do I mean by saying that it's not buyable? Well, you can buy anything anytime you want. So that's not the problem. The problem is that if you buy too far extended from a base pattern, it can be very problematic because it can pull back way back down, and it can even pull below the base pattern as well. But you typically on a base you have a little bit of support there. So with this one, I just think you got to wait some more, and it sucks because it looks like such a good one. But definitely put this on your watch list. Gene editing is going to be definitely the thing, a thing, and it's a great place. It's a great place to be. All right, what's going on with DraftKings? I got shaken out of DraftKings too. DKNG. I really like this stock, and I think along with Penn National, it's great, but it's hard to buy. DKN. Yeah, DraftKings app. DKNG. Okay, there we go. DKN. What is it? DKNG. Yep. Let me get the symbol for DraftKings here real quick. I should remember this because I was in it and I got pulled out of it. It's DKNG, and let's look at DKNG here real quick. DKNG. Thanks for holding on and my fat fingering. So let's go back to DraftKings. What's happening with the DraftKings? Well, the cup with handle buy point on a 4-stage base. And by the way, the 4th stage is the least good one to be in, but it still has a cup with handle. And this one, this one could pop very, 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 very strong. It's pulled back to the 21-day line. It looks like it's moved up. I think tomorrow and maybe into Monday, we could see this one go up significantly. But I think there may be 1 or 2 more pullbacks before it's really gonna head up. This one is gonna, when this one gets ready, it's gonna move really fast. This should be on your watch list. 6 out of 9. I think this one definitely, this one definitely can break out. I do believe this one can break out. This probably should be on your watch list, and it possibly, if it pulls above this buy point, this cup with handle buy point at 53.72, that's probably when you want to consider buying it. So I'm going to set an alert at 53.72 on this one. It's the price below alert, but I'm going to put another alert in there, and I'm going to edit this one. And 53.72, yeah, it's on. Okay, so I want to get it above that. Yeah. Okay, well, if it pulls above 53.72, that's where you want to buy it, because that's where it's going to have power. So definitely should be on your watch list, DraftKings. All right, so I think this is the last question. Nope, we have 2 more questions to go. Thoughts on parts. I got pushed out of parts. I still like the parts.com, PRTS. I still like parts.com. I think it's, but oh yeah, look at that. It just, it went it went south fast. Well, this is why you have stop losses, folks. Yeah, there's just been a lot of selling on this. People are just bailing on this one. Now the question is, can it hold the 40-day line? If it does, then we're good to go. But if not, I think that this one may be moving down a lot lower. It may be moving below $10 potentially if it doesn't hold on this line. Let's see how it closed. I want to see how this one closed. I'm looking at the 60-minute chart, but I'm going to go to the 30-minute chart. Yeah, it just fell off the earth. This sometimes happens. So this is why you want to have, if you're buying below a buy point, that's why you want to have that 2.5% stop loss. It's frustrating because sometimes you get kicked out, but it's a good precaution, because sometimes when these things reverse below an exponential line like the 21-day or something like that, they'll fall all the way down to 40, and they'll fall sometimes to 200 very, very quickly. So that's why you want to have that stop loss much tighter when you're buying below the pivot. Now above the pivot, you could have a little bit more flexible. You can have about 7% stop loss or better, but below that, it's just it's just not a good deal. All right, I don't know if I didn't get to everybody. Okay, SBE. Oh, interesting. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, thank you for this, Lucio. SBE is merging with ChargePoint. Should we get in now or wait and see what happens? Well, you know, I think we should probably wait to see. Let's look at Blink Charging, BLNK. Now, Blink Charging is a competitor in this space, and they bought they bought EasyGo, which was a good one. It's up today. This is the one I think that you want, even though, you know, it's a little bit more expensive. This is the one I think that you want is Blink Charging. Yeah, as you can see, this is starting to move. The question, yeah, it's up $4 today. I think that Blink could move a lot higher. Very much. I think Blink could move a lot higher. It's starting to get discovered. We have 29 funds in it. It's 15% fund ownership. If it gets at about 20, then I think we're going to be in a pretty good space. It doesn't really have great sponsorship yet, but it's got to be. Let's see. See, the accumulation rating is A+ on this one. So I think that instead of going for SBE, I think you want to go with Blink Charging. I think this is the one that might be better. 6 out of 9, and we've got increasing fund ownership. So this is the one I think that, you know, you might want to consider going into more. So than the other one, but called Blink Charging, BLNK. Well, I have gone an hour already. Everybody, if you are interested in the action trade alerts, very easy to do. To subscribe, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please, please, please. It's youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor. And of course, you know, when you go there, just you know, hit that like button and just, you know, like that on YouTube and subscribe on YouTube. That would be super great. And also, let's see, and also the free trade alerts are Dallas Trading Floor. Well, my next live will be tomorrow at 2:30, and I'll be right back. And if you want to get in your questions early, so that I can take them in order, I simulcast this on YouTube. So you can go to youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor, and then just use the chat feature to type in your questions, and that way I can actually project them onto the video as well. But of course, I see all the comments, of course, that are coming on TikTok as well. But till tomorrow, happy trading, and I hope you know, I hope that you know, that everybody's safe out there, and you know, getting ready for the, you know, the Christmas season. And but till then, happy trading. I'll be back at 2:30, both live on TikTok and on YouTube.